Hello, folks. Welcome back. Mike Diaz here from LMS. For those that don't know me, for those that do, you already know, man. Your boy. Today's gonna be a special one. I got something for y'all. For a select few of y'all that have reached out to me recently, talking about Mike. I'm one of your biggest fans. Mike, I love what you're doing out there. Mike, you're doing great things. I had a few family friends reach out, meaning childhood friends. Mike, you motivated me to quit my job and open my business. It's amazing what you guys are doing, man, and I'm humbled and I'm honored to even have stood next to you and to know you and to be a small source of your motivation. It came as a surprise because to me I'm just drowning in a bucket on a daily basis. I really have no freaking notion of time nowadays, and I keep in contact with a lot of you guys that I served with, talk to a bunch of you guys, and you guys are not talking to each other. So, man, reach out to each other because we've been through things, we've seen shit, we've grown together, and I call all of you guys brothers and sisters, and I have found nothing like you guys out in the civilian world. Nothing. You can say I'm all alone in this bitch. So make sure you guys are reaching out to each other, you're talking to each other, don't suffer in silence, reach out to me. I'm always here for you. I know you guys will get on a fucking plane and be here tomorrow if you had to. And everybody else that you guys know that we know will do the same. There's nobody out there that'll do that. There's no one out there like that. So I love you guys. Thank you for the words. Thank you for the motivation as well. And today is for you. So you're about to get out. You're possibly about to retire, maybe a medical chapter, but you're getting out and you think you want to go into business. Do you really want to do that? I will tell you right now, if I would have done it a little bit differently, I probably would have got into a different industry itself. So if you do consider business, what kind of business you want to get into? Consider the type of business that you want to get into. I did not. I went in hard charging and I knew I wanted a small business, whether it was going to be a franchise, gas station, pawn shop, something small, coffee shop, anything that was working for me and for myself. Because I came out a little bit selfish, right? From giving so much of my time to so much of my resources to the military and to the army and to the people in it. I wanted to do things for myself and get my shit right. So you want to consider the business you want to be in. In this case, I didn't. I just ran. I ran with the flow and I found a warehouse that things were happening in it. I didn't even know what the hell was going on in there, man. And I said, yep, I could do this. And I purchased a company that was going bankrupt. Thank God we figured it out. We turned it around and now things are a little bit different. But you want to definitely figure out what you want to do. And they say you got to do what you love. You want to be close to that. And the reason why is because this shit is so fucking hard that you gotta love it. You gotta love some semblance of it, some part of it, because that's the only shit that's gonna get you to wake up again and again, day in, day out, 8, 9, 10 years down the road, and not give up, because those are the guys that prevail, the ones that don't give up. Year 8, so we are currently in year 9. Mid year 8 is when we actually started making some good money. And my first 4 years was working 20-hour days, 18 to 20-hour days, 7 days a week. My first 3 years I didn't get paid. I was living off of our BAH that they give you to go to freaking college. We talked about whether you want to go into business or not. Industry. What type of industry do you want to be in? Now, we come from the security sector, government sector, some of us from the medical field, communications field. If we talk about government sector to civilian sector, things change a lot, man. Government sector logistics is really not the same as civilian style logistics. What do you like? What do you do? What are you currently doing in the military? Counter intel, counterterrorism, MPs. Like you want to probably stay in your element unless you have a zest to get out of your field. Because you wanted to do something different beforehand, but I would recommend you staying in what you like to do and what you want to do, because again, it is so damn difficult that it's going to be challenging to show up every single day. Because remember, you don't have to show up. I don't have to come in every day. I could take weeks off at a time, but the sense of urgency that I have, the drive, the motivation that I have, I'm in this bitch first in the morning, last out in the evening. And it's always been like that, and it's always going to be like that.
Hey, what do you want me to do with the returns?
Clear it to the customer, but we're probably going to be disposing of them.
Hey, Mike, where we gonna put the rest of the junior learning stuff at?
All right, so if we're already full with junior learning, let's go to the backup junior learning area. Remember where that was?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Hey, Mike, dude, I have a big blister in my finger.
Well, I'll put the junior learning on there.
Yeah, with Rob. I just told her. It's like fucking herding cats.
Your biggest headache, staff. The business that you choose, think about how are you gonna, do you need to staff it? Can you do it yourself? Because maybe you wanna be a real estate agent, or you wanna be an agent of some sort where you really don't need staff, except maybe an assistant, or you're gonna have a full staff, and what kind of staff is that gonna compile of? So here, we do logistics. We download containers, we handle pallets, we handle some, we got forklift drivers, we have pickers, folks that are labeling things. These are, skill level 1 workers, and to motivate folks, man, everyone is different. Everyone has a different motivation, so you have to find the folks that you are able to motivate, because not everybody, you just can't bring anybody up unless they want to come up themselves. They gotta want it. Somebody that doesn't want it, leave them alone, don't waste your time, because it's just not gonna work. I've been trying it for 8, almost 9 years now. I'm in my 9th year now, trying to motivate people, trying to get them elevated to a different frame of mind, different mindset, look at things differently. It doesn't work unless they want to do it. So 80% is them, 20% is you. You just light that fire and let them roll with it. You just got to find the right ones. So staff, are you gonna have a full staff running around and packing boxes, or you're gonna have staff running around doing creative things, manufacturing? Are you designing products? Are you designing? Are you building rockets? Are you doing aerospace stuff? You gotta, who you're dealing with is very important, because that is gonna lead to, the headaches that come with leading that staff. Whether it's gonna be high level stuff that you're used to working on already, because you're leading, whether a battalion, a company, a platoon, you're leading people. Are you gonna be leading people at a higher level that you really don't have to babysit? You just kind of mold them and coach them on what they want or what you want. Or we're talking low level staff where you really gotta fucking babysit these guys. And I'm talking about herding cats. Guys that just don't wanna answer radios, they wanna hide in the freaking bathroom, they wanna hide in the back and be on their cell phones, they wanna disappear, they don't wanna come to work on Mondays, they don't wanna come to work on Fridays, they don't wanna come to work in the middle of the week. They just wake up, they don't feel like coming into work, they don't come to work, so you're always short staffed, you're always running around with your head fucking chopped off like a damn chicken.
Bree, what you up to?
Processing returns.
Looks good, good work. Gee, yo, what are you doing?
Processing returns.
Returns?
So you got to get really good at selecting your staff, man. And that's immersing yourself and start learning from these people. What makes them tick, what motivates them, what are their passions, what do they like, who to place where. You become a master at putting people in different places, because it's true. You can't ask an elephant to climb a tree. That is true. We understand that. But you would think, and what you bring to the table is, you can do anything. You can figure anything out. Not in the civilian world, man. The challenge is that you see a lot of folks at the lower level that don't really ever get better. They just keep going and going and going. Now, over here, I've managed to make a team. Now, in the military, we're used to making a team like that. You want this guy, that guy, that guy. Boom, give me those guys. They're on my team. We're good to go. You might lose one, but you can take another. And boom, you have your team immediately within weeks. Here, it takes years to build a team. Years. because it takes people years to get better at what they do. And it's just a thing in the civilian world, you know? What are we doing here? We're not building rockets. We're not taking over a country. We're not, you know, running around looking for the deck of cards. We're taking pallets out of trucks and picking items and putting them in a box, taping the box up, putting that box on a pallet and then shipping it on a truck. It's not that serious, right? But, you know, either way, whatever we do as, you know, from military and former veterans, we always take the shit serious. But not everybody else is going to take it as serious as you are. And you got to struggle with the fact because it's not their thing. It's not their baby. If it's your business, don't expect anybody else to work on it like you will. I made that mistake for many years trying to get people to work on my business the way I would work on my business. And it's not going to happen. They don't get paid enough. And even if you do pay them enough, it's not going to be enough because it's not theirs at the end of the day. So you got to think about these things and how you are going to staff your operation when you start thinking about your business and the industry you want to be in. So out of all the things we're talking about with staff, that's going to be your biggest challenge and one of your second biggest expense. So our first biggest expense here is rent. Of course, we're at about $180,000 a month in rent, and then staff is our biggest expense after rent, which we're probably about $120,000 a month in staff payroll. Training. The training that we are used to is not the training. You could just throw it out the window. You can't explain your way through training like we used to. You crawl, you walk, you run. So there's no crawl phase training civilians. It's the run, it's the jog phase, not the run phase because they're not that fast, but it's like a continuous jog phase for months. So you can't explain what's going on. You literally got to show them exactly what to do. And the formula to do, the right way to do it is have one person doing one thing. That's the way to do it. Now, when you're a small business, that's tough. Usually you're gonna have one person doing 4 different things. So that's, if there's any variation to whatever they're doing, man, it just throws them through loops and it takes them so long to learn. It takes me about 6 to 8 months to turn someone that already knows this, already been in a warehouse, already been in the position, to turn them into a good customer service rep or even a good warehouseman. They know where they work and they come to this place or the other place and it's all new. Because it's like the parts changer versus the mechanic. Once you learn a car, you pretty much know all cars, but not this case. You're dealing with a bunch of parts changers where they learn to work where they're working and not about the industry, and they don't reach for any expertise in their field. Now, some people do, and those are your leaders. I'm still here running day-to-day operations, unfortunately. I can get out every now and then because I got a few leads, but nobody hardcore here every day that's willing to show up and do things like they need to. So some people have asked, what does it take, Mike? Look, everybody's path is different. Everybody chooses a different industry, a different business. But what it definitely takes is everything of you. If you're not willing to put in the time, which is ungodly amounts of hours, we're talking about the stuff that Kobe talks about, the Mamba mentality. When everyone arrives for their training, he's already been doing it for the past 3 hours. When everybody leaves, he's gonna still do it for a couple more hours. That's what it really takes, man. My first 4 years was, 18, 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. It was exhausting. I burnt out a few times, and then I worked even more burnt out, and yeah, it's not healthy. You run into, I stopped working out for a long time, and your health goes to side. You don't go to your appointments, your dental, your physical appointments. Everyone else goes to theirs, but you got to stay back and you got to work. You got to do your thing because you got to keep your commitments to your customers and to yourself. Right at the end of the day, that's a small portion of what it takes. And then you have to immerse yourself. You have to become an expert at as much as you can. When it's in the tax field, the governmental field and regulations, finances of your business, what shit costs, what does it cost you to serve your customer, what's business costing you, the human aspect of it, how to interview folks and how to read folks and how to train folks and motivate folks, and it's all everything else but none of you. So you got to be careful It takes a lot. It takes a lot out of you. And you know, when you talk to business owners that have been doing it for 20, 30 years, you can see it in their faces, man, that they're burnt the hell out, that they're happy to sell, they're happy to just release. It's you know, it's treacherous. Relationships, it's gonna take a toll on your relationships. Your business relationships are probably gonna take precedence a lot. You gotta learn some type of work-life balance. You know, it's so tough to be a great everything. So you either great at a few things and maybe not so good at others, or you keep everything kind of good or mediocre or whatever you want. But the good thing is you have the power to do what the hell you want. You have business relationships you got to keep up. You have family relationships. You got, you know, friends. Those relationships are going to change. Your friends will probably disappear. You know, you make sure you hold on to those great relationships. And I could definitely tell you that from the military side, seeing folks that are happy to see good things happen to us, that's great. Versus on the personal side, folks would rather see you fail than see you pass. And you know, those relationships, you kind of shoo them away. They hold nothing for you, right? Family, you know, make sure you're giving time to your family, because there's been times that I haven't, and the family suffers, you know, and things go up and down, and you kind of manage that, you navigate that, but you got to find some sort of balance. And there's no freaking magic pill to that shit. You got to find it yourself. Figure it out. You want a break?
No.
Get the fuck out of here. Go get to that FedEx shit. Hurry the fuck up.
Yes, sir.
So the thing is, what you bring to the table already, all your training and your ability to figure things out, your ability to lead people, to nurture relationships, which you do already, the motivation to wake up every morning, man, to go out there and get it on the military scale, get out there and PT in the mornings and motivate the young cats that don't feel like doing it. And then you're still in the office at 8 o'clock and you're getting your ass chewed by Sergeant Major or by the Colonel because somebody else got a DUI or they're gone. Man, all that shit, we just brush it off here, man. You're conditioned to be so fucking, you know, rough around the edges, but still compassionate. So you already have what it takes. You already have the conditioning, you have the hardness, you have the physical condition, the mental, the emotional, but you do have to watch what route you take. Because remember, you're gonna go from hero to zero in no time. The civilian world is different. You're not walking around with rank. There's nothing on your chest to see what you've done. There's nothing, no unit that you came from or you deployed with. So you're gonna walk into a room and your presence will command itself, but nothing else. So you have no credibility walking into the civilian world. You're trying to coach somebody and they're thinking, who the hell is this guy, right? Who's this guy? So you gotta watch what you do. You gotta watch where you go and do it for you, do it for yourself. Money. It's gonna take some money. It's gonna take a lot of money. So for example, it took me about $2 million of savings, and we cashed out on everything. 401ks, IRAs, anything that we had in sitting around in liquid, we cashed that shit out. We put it towards the business, and that's what it took. We moved into the business in the beginning. So we were there for about 8 months, then we bought a house. But it takes a lot of money to do it. So you gotta, what we did took a lot of money. If you don't have a lot of overhead, you can start from your house, you start from your home. If you can start now that you're in the military, start getting a following now. You're still getting paid, you just gotta work a little bit more. Start gathering a following now, so when you get out, you have a big audience already, and whatever you're gonna do, it can propel your business forward a lot faster. How things change, work-life balance. There's no balance in this shit. I don't care what people say. And the people that said that there's balance in this, these motherfuckers are gazillionaires, man. You gotta be years into the game, making a shit ton of money, so you can afford for people to wash your house, clean your house, a housekeeper. We have one. We have a car wash guy. We have a housekeeper. And these bills, they fucking add up. So we're talking, I spend an extra $4,000 to $4,500 a month, not including my nanny, to take care of our affairs. Not, not everybody has that freaking money, has that luxury. The nanny, she's a full-time employee, so that's another, $3,500 a month. So you got to think about that. You have to do it all. Period.
441.
Ya está. Le envío la información y ahí nos ponemos de acuerdo.
Stability. If you're looking for stability, there is no stability. My employees are stable. Me, I am not stable at all. I don't feel stable. I feel like it's day one every single day. I feel like if I don't do enough today, it's gonna affect me tomorrow. If we don't get enough done this month, next month is gonna be worse. If we didn't do shit this year, next year's gonna be worse. Look, any day you could come in and things are down the drain and went to shit. And how does that work for me? Well, look, I don't have a lot of control of what happens in my business other than daily operations, who works here and who we service, right? Outside of that, it's up to my customer to make great sales, to do their thing, to keep their supply chain functioning from on the external side, so we can provide the service that we provide. So if they stop paying their bills, we're screwed. If they stop selling, they go bankrupt, we're screwed. And if a couple of customers do that, we're screwed. So stability, I don't see it ever until later on. Maybe you got a big fat nest egg of $10, $20 million in the bank, then we could say you got some stability. But even then, it's kind of risky because you're just not going to be that one to settle down and want to be just stable, right? Finances, your finances are going to change. It is going to get fun. Your date nights are going to be, where people pay for rent on a monthly basis. That is cool. You're going to drive nicer cars and have bigger and nicer houses. But it does come at a cost. We moved into a 3,000 square foot, not that big, 3,000 square foot house, but it's really nice and modern and clean. And it's not fucking cozy anymore. So you're gonna deal with other peripheral problems, right? I got a really nice big truck, freaking Denali, but now I just feel like I'm working all the damn time. So I want a supercar to take me to work every day. Hey man, whatever floats your boat. If cars are your thing, like I said, cars, bikes, guns, that's my thing. I want one for every fucking day of the week. So Danny's camera's overheating over there, man, just so you know how fucking hot it is here in the warehouse, but we still keep going. All right, your surroundings, man, your surroundings are going to change. That is for sure, because the people that you know today is not gonna be the people you know mañana, because, look, man, you're doing bigger and better things. And the people that stick with you and help you, and maybe even become a customer, promote you and things of that sort, those are the guys you want to keep sticking around, The guys that just watch from a distance and wait for you to fucking fail, get rid of those motherfuckers. You don't need those motherfuckers, man. We're cheering for you. Your military brethren, for sure, fucking cheering for you, man, because I see people doing great things, and it makes me happy, it makes everybody else happy, and you see that shit. So, hey, your surroundings are definitely gonna change. Make sure you're not the smartest one in the room. Don't be the dumbest one in the room, but just don't be the smartest one in the room, because, hey, you gotta fucking learn. It's learning time. And people, remember this, your fucking network. You got a network, okay? Your network is what you're gonna fucking be worth, all right? You better be networking your ass off, because it's a person that's gonna bring the opportunity to you. One person is gonna introduce you to somebody else, and maybe somebody else would introduce you to somebody else, and that somebody's gonna know 3 people that can make you fucking rich. So your network, that's where it's at. Don't stop networking. Keep the bullshit away from you, and make sure you keep those that you need. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer, right? But check this out. Your enemies are more predictable than your friends, all right? A friend can hurt you more than an enemy can. Remember that. But you don't have to worry about that shit if you only got your military brother in your circle, man. We're rooting for you. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you for those of y'all that reached out. Thank you for those that wish well upon us. Really love you guys. I miss you guys. Those that I served with, man, it's can't find anybody like you guys nowadays. And those my old buddies that I grew up with. This is the older Mike, 42 now. So thanks for tuning in. Personal version of me. But check us out on the professional side of LMS. We're throwing some stuff out there for logistics and warehousing. But thanks again. And until we see you guys next time, Mike out.